that funding requests have been submitted or being processed and considered for the final approval for the project listed below for the fiscal year of 2011. And that's for $4,000 to the speech and debate team for tournament expenses. So that's a plus. That's a good thing. All right, moving on. The next board concern is to commit $20,000 in matching funds to build a sidewalk from the bridge to the school sidewalk, or any other suggestions from the board.
If I may.
Did you put this on?
Yes,
agenda?
sir. Yes, sir, if I may.
Thanks, sir.
Given several different ways to go, and as far as C goes, we can see the fields. Okay, as far as the C, construct walkway from school to baseball field, softball field, soccer field, I have not gotten word back on that. But so we can kind of move on from this, we're going to give the money back. B, construct a walkway from the car bridge to the school. And again, this is done by them to figure out where that goes. We can make suggestions, but they're still the lead as far as what regulations they have to follow. C, construct a walkway from the school to the baseball field and so forth. And because of the steepness of the bank, we know that has to be handicap accessible. So therefore, there's stipulations. They might be going to zigging and zagging down that hill to make it correct, way to do it. And they may look at it and says, no, we can't do it.
We're talking about under C.
Yes. And so the other alternatives, if you like C better than B, and let's say you want to keep the money, you like C better than B, but we're not sure, then I'm going to say if C cannot be done, then B. And then I can proceed on with it tonight and kind of move forward. So I'm giving you kind of the whole works of how to use the money if you want to. If you don't want to use the money, that's fine too. That's up to you.
You're not saying B or C. Could we say B and C?
That's what D is.
Okay. Oh. If C cannot be done, then B.
You either have C or D.
I think C was going to be quite,
Or A.
yeah. And again, we can ask for both. And when the money runs out, when it runs out.
How much money are we talking about?
There's 80,000. We would have to put in 20,000 of our money, county money. Come up with $100,000. If what remains, if there's any in-kind cost, that would count, but what remains would be divvied up as 80%, 20%. Of course, 20% of remaining funds would come back to us after completion of whatever you all decide to do, if you decide.
So we're talking about a walkway from Lincoln County High School to the soccer field over there at the high school and baseball field.
And we're just saying fields because they would kind of tell us how that's supposed to happen. And it's my understanding, someone asked me earlier about being stimulus money, and he thinks, again, he's checking on it again, he thinks it's stimulus money, so therefore they would do it all. They would do, the engineering work, whatever, to get it put in. In other words, we would do nothing after that except show them what we want, and they would design it, build it, so forth.
I mean, I don't know, Fred may be more knowledgeable as the cost of a sidewalk. I mean, does anybody have a feel for it? I met with Mr. Linville out there the other day just to try to, I wanted to see what we were looking at there, because there's a walkway across the bridge right now. And then as you come on the high school side, then you got the driveway going up through there. So I just wanted to look at it myself, and he happened to see me, so he got out and we looked at it together. And so we just I asked him, what he thought about the whole idea, because we were going to discuss it. And so he was saying, ideally, if you would have a sidewalk that would just connect there with the bridge one and just follow the roadway up to, well, just as you I don't know how, it's 200 or 300 feet, I guess. Just before you get to the high school, you make a left to go into the parking lot. There's a sign on the right. And go just beyond that with the sidewalk, and that way, then have a crosswalk right there. Then that crosswalk would go right across right beside the parking lot and intersect with the crosswalk that's already there. The reason he and I were talking about it, to go beyond the sign was that way you would avoid one flow of traffic that we're cutting in here. So that was one thing that he talked about, is just having a sidewalk along the, where the bridge sidewalk already is, and then just go up right beside the school and come up, and then go over to the crossroads, the parking lot that's there, and then intersect with the walkway that's to the high school.
Well, now, who's gonna be using the walkway? That's my question.
Just anybody that's walking along through
That's a
there.
lot of money for so three.
Well, that's the reason I was asking. I don't know how much money, how much money does a sidewalk cost?
Well,
300
to
feet.
build it from the bridge to First Place, or when the slope's already there, I mean, it's like this, has to be handicapped. When you start doing something like that, the sidewalk can be, have to be on a certain grade, but I think that grade there would be okay. I don't know, I would say, $15,000 built from the bridge to 4 years old from the parking lot.
Yes,
So all you
ma'am.
gotta do is
Now, we're
build
talking
one.
about concrete too, right?
Yeah, concrete.
Right. Well, that's what I don't have any idea, but I was thinking just, to me, building a sidewalk from there to there, you're talking $15,000 or $20,000. It seemed to me it would be all you're talking about. In fact, with the case, the board's part of, well, let's say it was $20,000, the board's cost would be $4,000.
Yeah.
Because, I don't have an idea. But then, we never even, Mr. Lim and I, we weren't even looking over across where the ball, or the soccer and baseball and all that is, nor around back or into that. We were just looking from here to there.
One of the things that I mentioned, that Mr. Snyder had mentioned earlier, they had looked at going down that way, also to escape from the building as far as getting away from it, with the threat of fire, bomb scare, wherever you could get away from it, go down there on the field.
Towards the soccer.
Yes, so that was just another thing besides just having access to the fields, but also as a way to move away from the building, other than that road running around.
Well, personally, I think sidewalks to the field would be more beneficial to the school than for the bridge system.
Let me ask something. In the future, after, I'm optimistic, we're going to get a stadium built, okay? So if we get the stadium built and then we have, who are all the people going to park? If they park down there on the fields, would they not have to walk up past the school to the stadium? I mean, I don't think everybody's going to be able to park in that parking lot up there at the school. They're going to have to park somewhere and walk to the stadium, so we're not, build it now, build it later, we'll have some way for people to walk besides walking in dirt or up the middle of the road. Is that a possibility?
If we could get to the baseball field, softball field, and soccer field now, if we could get that, it looks like it's gonna be a while before we have to worry about building a wall. We wouldn't even know where to build it, as far as the football field.
I was,
I'm just saying, we're gonna have to build sidewalks sometime, and is it cheaper to do it when we pay 20%, or are we gonna pay 100%? I mean,
Yeah, we
that's.
do need